There we go. Good morning, everyone. We're just waiting for people to come in and we will get started. I'm sure we're going to continue to have some people come in, but I'm going to go ahead and get us started. My name's Jackie McLean. I'm co-chair of the Capital Corridor chapter of SCORE, and we're glad to have you with us this morning. Just a little bit of housekeeping. I want you to know that you will receive a copy of this presentation, a recording, and the slides for the presentation. So you can keep that in mind in terms of how much time you spend on doing notes during the meeting. So I'm going to go ahead and get us started, and it'll take a second. Okay, today what we are doing is looking at the distance between your dreams and reality, and that's called action. There are a number of things you have to do to move your dream into a reality for you.
Okay, we don't see your slides.
You're not seeing the slides?
No.
Okay, let me try share screen again. Hold on a minute. Okay, now are you seeing the slides?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you for telling me. My name is Jackie McLean, and this tells a little bit about myself. I think the thing that I like to say most about this is that the reason I'm involved with SCORE is because I grew up in a small business family. My folks owned the neighborhood grocery store, and my mother was business manager for the neighborhood flower shop. And my first two jobs while I was in high school was in those small businesses. And I know what a struggle it is to get a small business up and running and keep it running at a way so that it supports your family. For that reason, I'm perfectly willing to spend my time with you and try and help you and answer any questions that you have. As I said before, the webinar is recorded and it will be emailed to you. If you have a question, please type it in the chat and I will answer them at the end of the presentation. This presentation isn't an entire hour long, so there's going to be plenty of time for any questions that you have at the end of the presentation. This course 102 is the second course of the idea phase of business planning that is offered by our chapter. We give the first course 101 on the second Tuesday of every month. And we give this course on the fourth Tuesday of every month. In addition to these idea phases of presentations, we have a number of presentations in the planning phase that will be available through us. And we will be talking to you at the end of this presentation about how you sign into our website and find out about upcoming webinars. So let's talk a little bit about what you're going to learn today. The first thing we're going to cover today is the business model canvas, what it is and how to use it and why we recommend it. The second thing we're going to talk about are some smart 90-day goal setting so that you can move forward with your dream. And then the third thing we're going to discuss is how SCORE can and can't help you. Let's start out by looking at the business model canvas. And this is a picture of the canvas, which shows you the 9 different areas that appear on the canvas. There's a business expression that's called keep it simple, stupid. Every year, there are thousands of books published and about businesses and starting businesses. At this stage of your journey, all you need is a 1-page, 9 elements to understand your idea and test your different strategies. If you continue on your journey, there are several good books that you will want to read and significantly more complex tools that you will need to master. But right now, I suggest that you keep it stupid, keep it simple, and use this business model canvas as a starting document for you. So why do we recommend this document? Well, it is a popular one-page chart that describes your customers, the products you'll offer, the key success factors. It's easy to use, it's free, and there are many places online where you can get help with filling out this document. I think that the document forces you to think about all aspects of starting your business, some of which you wouldn't readily think about without something to push you in that direction. It improves your clarity and focus on what's driving your business and what's non-core business and getting in the way of your moving your business forward. The tool also provides flexibility. It's much easier to tweak a 1-page model than it is to work with several complex documents. That's why SCORE uses the canvas early in your journey to help keep you on plan and to better evaluate when you are ready to start making a serious investment of time and money into your business. So right now, we're going to look at the elements of the canvas. And the first 2 items that we're going to look at are the most important to get right. I will tell you, when I have clients use this document, I have them fill it out, they send it to me, and then I ask questions. And we generally find that people don't think of everything they should think of as they fill out the boxes on this. So we're going to try and give you some examples as we go through here of what you need to be thinking about. The first element on the canvas is your customer segment. This is defining who your customers are. What do they think? What do they see? What do they feel? What do they do? You want to look at a demographic, establishing a demographic for your business. What is going to be the age bracket, the income bracket, the kinds of businesses that your customers may be in. All of those things should go into your consideration of what your customer segment is, because that will govern a lot of what you're going to do in terms of your marketing, how you're going to set your business up, and how you're going to run it going forward. The second important part of the business model canvas is the value proposition. That's what's compelling about your product or services and why customers will buy or use you rather than somebody else available in the community. I think that this segment of the canvas forces you to look at what the competition is and to look with some depth about what do your competitors have to offer, and how can you set yourself off from what they're offering so that you're more attractive to the clients that you would like to have walk in your door. The third element that we're going to talk about is the channels. How are your products promoted, sold, and delivered, and why? This is your marketing, And this will go back to what your demographic is for your customers. It will also go back to what your value proposition is, because that's something you want to promote and emphasize in any marketing program that you develop. The next aspect of the canvas is customer relations. How do you interact with your customers, and how do you get them to interact with you? We've moved in the last few years highly to virtual interaction with customers. It used to be that the vast majority of interaction was face-to-face. Now we have a good mix of ways that you can reach your customers, and those are all important channels for you to think about as you're putting together your business plan. The next thing that we want to look at is the revenue streams. How are you going to earn money from your business proposition, from your value proposition, and your business in general? And one of the things that I would tell you is that in most businesses, there's a primary source of revenue that you have, but there are possible secondary and tertiary sources of revenue from your business. If you think about those up front, you will be increasing the possibility of your succeeding in your business, because you will be maximizing the input of revenue into your business. The next factor we're going to look at is what kind of key activities are you going to be involved? What uniquely strategic things does your business do to deliver its proposition? And we're constantly going back to the unique nature of your business that sets you apart from your competition, because that is a critical factor in success for your business. The next element we're looking at is key resources. What unique strategic assets must your business have to compete? And we know with having gone through COVID, that resource chains is a very important aspect of setting up your business. You need to know what you're absolutely critical to keep your business running, and how you can get those things from the community where you are located. We're also going to investigate, key partnerships, what the company cannot do so that it can focus on its key activities. Working, for instance, with somebody who wants to set up a venue for events, they might find that catering is something that would take a lot of resources, time, and employees, and that they can better serve the needs of their clients by partnering with an existing catering business. So that's the kind of partnerships that we want you to think about as you're looking at key partnerships for your businesses. The last thing that we're going to look at is the cost structure. What are your business's major cost drivers, and how are they linked to revenue? You're going to be looking at how money comes into your business and how it goes out of your business. All of that is involved in developing your projections for your first couple of years of operation, which are a critical factor if you're going to be looking for loans or support for your business. So here is the actual layout of the canvas so that you can see how it works. And what we're going to do is we're going to walk through setting this canvas up for a business, and it is a laundromat that we're going to use. We will be talking about ways that other businesses look at these things, but this gives us a specific example so that you can see the kind of analysis you should be doing as you're filling out the canvas for your business. So if we start out with the laundromat, and the first thing we want to look at is the customer segments. So we're going to be looking here at who uses a laundromat and why do they use it. So to determine this, the person who's the laundromat owner needs to do some research. They need to go online and look at who is actually using laundry services. And this researcher found that 50% of renters have no laundry, and that 5% of homeowners have no laundry. They also found that the income that is necessary for people to be using the laundromat is generally in the area of $25,000 a year or less. But they also found that the age of users of laundromats is from 16 to 92. So that's a very broad demographic, and it's going to help the person who has this business in determining how they can best reach out to the demographic that they have identified. The next aspect we're going to look at is the value proposition. These are the kinds of things that the owner of the laundromat can think about that might set them apart from other laundromat owners in the area. Cleanliness is a factor that people really look for when they're thinking about going in, bringing their laundry, and sitting in a laundromat for quite a bit of time. 24/7 access is certainly an asset that could set your business apart from those laundromats that are only open part of the day. Since people live different lifestyles, different people need different times to get into the laundromat to do their laundry. It is an advantage to a laundromat if you accept credit cards and digital payment. That makes it easier for people not to have to come in with a whole bag full of quarters if they want to do their laundry. Services that you can provide as a laundromat owner that might set you apart include free Wi-Fi, a television channel remote that the person can control what channels they're watching, video machines, kids' toys. A lot of young people using laundromats bring their kids with them while they're doing the laundry. So having a way to entertain those kids and keep them out of playing with your machines and out of the hair of their parents who are trying to get their laundry done is an important thing that can set you apart from other laundromats. Dependable machines is absolutely critical if you're running a laundromat. People aren't going to come back if when they come in to use the machines, they find the machines are broken and not usable. Having multiple locations is another way that you can boost the value proposition of your business because it makes accessibility open to a lot more people. If you're going to use multiple locations, it's important that you develop a consistent look so that anybody who is using your business services realizes that it is you, no matter where it is, that they are getting their support. The next aspect we are going to look at is customer relations. And this person who owned the laundromat decided that they would use social media and email to reach their customers. Here's a place where your demographic really comes into play. If you want to use social media, you have to know what social media tool will reach which demographic. If you want to reach 20 to 30-year-olds, Facebook is not the social media platform you want to use. That platform reaches a slightly older demographic. So you need to do some research. Even if you decide you're going to use social media, you need to break that down and think about what social media tools will be a good match for the demographic that you have established for your business. Using email is a good idea, but to use email, you have to have a customer list with emails that you can send to. That's probably a better approach to use once you get people in the door than to get them in for the first time. And great customer service is something that will always help bring employees or customers back to your business after they've been there. So it's something that you should be thinking about in terms of how you're going to get repeat users for your business. What kind of channels are you going to use? This is the breakdown on the social media, for instance. And these are all different social media tools. Each one of them reaches a different demographic. And you have to do some research to determine what is the demographic that best matches up with these social media tools. If you were going to use flyers, you might want to think about where you could best distribute those flyers in the community to reach people who might be looking for a laundromat. Maybe putting flyers in coffee shops would be a good idea, because a lot of people who go into coffee shops are people who are looking for services outside of their home, and that might be an additional channel that you could use to get people to come to your business. Looking at revenue streams, I talked about the fact that everybody has a primary revenue stream. And for the laundromat, the primary revenue stream is the use of the machines. And you might want to consider having different tier pricing options for the machines, different size machines to meet different needs with different costs associated with them, or machines that run for a different length of time depending on the price that you put in. But what are additional forms of revenue that you can get from your laundromat? Well, most laundromats actually provide laundry supplies for sale for people who get there and discover that they left their fabric softener at home and they really need it to do their laundry. They'll buy it from a vending machine at the laundromat so that they can complete their laundry. Entertainment vending machines is another source of revenue. So if you have games that people can play and they put money in, you can work out with the vending machine owner, if you are leasing them, a percent that you get to keep. Or if you buy your own machine, you can calculate how long it will take you to recover the cost of the machine through the entertainment vending revenue that you're going to receive. The next aspect we are going to look at is key activities. These are the kinds of things that your customers are going to be looking for. They're going to be looking for 100% response when they come in. They want machines that are available. They want to be able to use the machine and get their job done and be out of there. 99% response time within an hour is a way of indicating how important having service available when people walk in the door is critical to running your business. Lost and Found program is a key activity for a laundromat owner, because I don't think I ever been to a laundromat that I didn't lose something or forget something in the washer or the dryer. So having a Lost and Found program where people can come back and recover things that they have left is an important factor for you in terms of getting return business from your customers. Another aspect that we look at is what kind of key resources do you need? Obviously, you need a building. You may own the building or you may need to lease the building. If you're going to lease a building, one of the things you're going to have to do is do a careful analysis of how user-ready that building is for you. Are you going to have to add more electricity, more water lines? Are you going to have to change the layout of the physical space in order to deliver the services that you want or the products that you want to deliver? You need to think about what equipment you need to get your business open, and how many pieces of equipment are you going to need? How much are they going to cost? The tenant improvements goes back to if you're leasing a property. And I always recommend to my clients that if they are doing improvements to the space that they are leasing, they use that as a bargaining leverage with the landowner. You need to work out in advance what's going to happen to those improvements if you leave this building. Are you taking them with you? Is the building owner going to expect you to remove them at a cost to you so that they do not dictate the future use of his or her space? If you're going to leave the improvements because they're pretty basic, like water lines and electrical lines, perhaps you can either get an extension on your lease or a break on your leased cost because you are providing improvements to a property which is going to enhance the property for the business owner or for the building owner going forward. The next thing that you're going to look at is key kind of partners that you might want to have in this business. Some of the partners that you might look at for a laundromat are a fluff and fold concession. Some people don't mind doing their laundry, but they don't want to spend the time to fold it. And if you provide that service either in the building or as a carry-out service that people can come back and pick up their clean folded laundry, that is also another revenue stream that you might get. But it's probably not something where you want to hire the people to do that. You want to connect with somebody who has a business already doing that so that you can provide the service to your clients without adding to your actual employment cost. Vending machine operators are key partners. I mentioned the difference before of owning a machine or renting a machine. If you're using a rental machine, the vending machine operator is responsible for keeping the machine in working order and keeping it staffed and full of product for your clients. So you need to have a strong working relationship with them. We talked about one of the first things in the value proposition was a cleanliness in terms of your space. You may decide that you don't want to do the cleaning of that space yourself. You want to hire a janitorial service because that's a more effective use of your time and money. Pest control is pretty critical if you're doing a laundromat. Businesses that have high concentrations of water tend to attract certain pests, and it's good to have someone who is watching that for you on a regular basis so that your clients don't come in and run into beetles or cockroaches or other insects that are attracted to a moist environment. You might want to have a social media manager. If you're using social media as your primary outreach to your clients, having someone else who manages that function for you frees your time up to do the very basic things that you need to do. You also are going to want to have a working relationship with your equipment manufacturer. That's true whether you're renting or buying your equipment. Equipment breaks down. If you have a good relationship with the equipment manufacturer, you may have the opportunity to get it fixed more rapidly than if you haven't built that kind of working relationship. Additional professionals that you might want to have a relationship with are an accountant, an attorney, an electrician, and a plumber. If you're in a different kind of business, you might not need the electrician and the plumber, but you might need other services that you get from the outside. We talk about an accountant, and in the 101 course, I talk about the fact that even if you intend to do your own bookkeeping, it's a good idea to have an accountant set up your books so that they're done in compliance with federal, state, and local tax laws. I'm an attorney, so maybe I'm jaded in this, but I believe it's good to have a relationship with an attorney before you need one. That way, if a problem comes up, you don't have to spend the time to search out and find somebody who knows something about your business and can support you through any kind of litigation that might come up, whether you are the acting party or the responding party. So you need to think carefully for your business what specific kinds of outside partnerships would help you focus on the critical things you need to do and have somebody else do the things that are more marginal. The last aspect that we are going to look at in the business model canvas is your cost structure. And for the cost structure, you need to be thinking about what your expectation is in terms of income. For a laundromat, you would expect 3 turns per day per machine. That means you expect each machine to be used 3 times in a 24-hour slot. If you're running a restaurant, you turn tables. So you think about whether you want 2 or 3 turns during your dinner hour. How many times a day are you going to seat people at your business, and what kind of income are you going to get from the number of terms that you have provided? You need to think about the cost of utilities, lease, all the kinds of debt that you have. And all of your debt should be targeted to be 20% or less of your sales. And your management fees should be somewhere in the neighborhood of 15% or less than the anticipated sales that you will have. So we've been through the document once. What are the next step you take? Practice makes perfect. You need to try this exercise at home with your own business idea. And when I work with a client as a SCORE mentor, I generally have them fill out a business model canvas, put it away for 2 to 3 days, get a blank business model canvas and fill it out, then compare the two. Most times people find that they think of different things when they do the exercise a couple of times. The next thing that I will ask them to do is to send their business model canvas to me, and I will then work through the sections on the canvas with them, asking questions and asking if they've thought about specific things that it appears are going to be critical to their business but don't seem to be reflected in the entries that they've made on the canvas. You can always search the internet for examples of business model canvas and the kinds of detail and research that you need to do to fill in each element on the canvas. When you're ready, review your canvas and your supporting documents with your SCORE mentor. If you don't have a SCORE mentor, have an outside person that you do review what you have done with so that you get a different perspective. Sometimes people just looking at the areas from a little bit of different point of view will think of things that never dawn on you, but turn out to be critical to your business. We're going to move now away from the business model canvas, and we're going to talk about SMART objectives or SMART goals for your business. The SMART 90-day goals is a critical part of planning your business. SMART is a set of goals that you set, and 90 days is a good working time to set a goal. It's not so far distant that you forget about it, and it's not so quick that you can't do it. But what does setting a SMART goal mean? It means that you're going to set a goal that is specific. You're not going to say, I want to increase income. You're going to say, I want to increase income by 10% in the next 3 months. Having that specific an objective or goal then leads to the next aspect of SMART planning, and that's measurable. Because having set a specific detailed amount and a specific amount of time, you are able to determine whether you meet that objective or that goal as you have stated it, because it's easily measurable. Another aspect of setting SMART goals is that you want to have a goal that is achievable. We might all think we'd like to double our income in the first 6 months of business, but that's not likely to be achievable. So you really need to be realistic and achievable. Those two things go together. If you're not realistic, your goals won't be achievable. And if your goals aren't achievable, you're going to get frustrated and you're going to back off from what you're trying to do. So it's important that you be sure that a goal you set is something that you can hopefully achieve, and that it's done with a realistic analysis of your business and how you're moving forward. The last aspect of SMART goals is that they are timely. And I like to use this as an example when we talk about being timely. I had a lot of businesses that were on the verge of opening at the time that COVID hit. And that was a time when businesses were closed down by outside influences that were out of the control of the business owner. So at that point in time, their goal was not timely. And when you think about whether a goal is timely, you need to think about what's going on in the community, what's going on with competitors that you might have, what's going on in your country, what's going on in the economy, what time of year is it, and what kind of impact does that have on the goals that you're going to be setting. So you need to really think about the impact of outside influences on the timeliness of any goal that you set. Once you've done your 90-day goal setting, we're going to look at the kind of document that you need to do to analyze what you've achieved with those goals. So we're going to start out with a set of goals here, 3 different goals that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about what kind of actions you might take to move that goal forward and what kind of outcome you would expect or would hope to achieve from the actions that you're taking. If your goal is to better understand your customer, then what kind of actions will actually lead to better understanding your customers? You might want to do in-store surveys so that you hear from your customers that are walking in the door about what it is that they like and don't like about your business. You might also want to survey customers online. Again, to do this, you need to have customer emails. So you may want to think very early in your business of establishing an email bank of customers. Sometimes if you offer online discounts, you will more quickly get people willing to offer you their personal email so that you can use it for customer surveys or customer communication. What kind of outcome would you expect? You would hope that if you were doing in-store surveys, you would collect at least 50 surveys before you would try and reach a judgment from the information that you have received. If you're doing online surveys, you're probably going to want a higher number. You want to look at 100 clients before you draw any conclusions about the success of the goal that you set or the application of that goal to your business. The second goal that we have here is to increase profitability by 2%. And again, I would say you need to define a time period for that goal. But how do you increase your profitability? You only have 2 ways of doing that. You increase your volume or you decrease your cost per transaction. So what can you do to increase your volume? Well, you might try marketing techniques or different approaches to reaching out to your clients. To cut your or decrease your cost, you may look at alternative suppliers or different products that you could get that will do the same thing that the current product, which is more costly, does for your business. The third kind of goal that we've talked about here is to identify new revenue streams. And this is something that you probably want to do on an ongoing basis, constantly looking at whether there are other ways you can add revenue streams to your business. You can determine whether there are possibilities by researching other similar businesses, or you can just try a couple of programs to see if they, in fact, increase your revenue stream. If you do research of similar businesses, you're going to want to do a summary of results and determine what are the top choices from that research that would indicate you might want to move forward with such a revenue program. If in fact you're trying a couple of programs, you need to evaluate those. You need to launch them, you need to measure them, and you need to determine whether they were actually successful in increasing revenue or not. And that will tell you whether you want to adopt them on a permanent basis or not. The assumptions that we list on this chart are the things that you capture that are significant factors that are not entirely in your control, but they're going to impact your plan. The things that we talked about in terms of the economy, competition, all of those kinds of things, those are assumptions that you might need to put in place as you're setting your 90-day goals. The risks are something that you need to capture so that you know what kind of problems you should watch out for as you move forward. The risks in the first option here is that you get poor survey results. You never get those 3 or 100 surveys that you believe are critical. The risk in the second area is that none of the marketing programs that you use actually increase people coming in and doing business with you. And the third thing that you would have a risk is that if you try these new revenue streams and you don't increase your revenue, then they're not looking very positive as possibilities for you to move forward. These things at the bottom, the assumptions and risks and notes, are simply reminders that don't fit someplace else that help you analyze the effectiveness of the use of the SMART goal setting for your business. We're going to move now from SMART goal setting to talk a little bit about SCORE and how SCORE can help you and how we can't help you. SCORE is a volunteer organization, and it is the largest organization in the country that provides a free business one-on-one counseling. We also provide workshops ranging from business basics to series, simple steps for starting your business, or in-depth topics such as QuickBooks, legal issues for businesses in California, or selling your business. The vast majority of the workshops that are provided by SCORE are free. A very small percentage will have a very small fee associated with them, generally not more than $20 or $25 at a maximum amount, often at a $5 or $10 amount for a program that would have a cost associated with it. And you can go out and look, for instance, there are all kinds of commercial QuickBook programs that are available online. The cost on most of those run in the area of $150 to $200 for a QuickBooks workshop. So taking a workshop that you maybe have to spend $20 or $25 for is an economical way of getting an introduction to QuickBooks for your business. Another thing that SCORE provides, and our main focus, is free confidential mentoring from experienced local and national volunteers that's available to you for the life of your business. A couple of important things about that statement. We do have a large group of local volunteers, and the first thing we will do if you need a specific type of support and the person who is assigned as your mentor does not have that skill is look within the local organization to see if we can find another mentor who will co-mentor with your assigned mentor to provide that support. But suppose we don't find anything in the local organization. We have access to a national volunteer database which will provide information for us about whether those skills that you need are available from a volunteer someplace else in the country. And generally, I reach out to any volunteer that I find on a national level and ask them if they are willing to work with me to co-mentor my client. I find I get a better response when I reach out rather than having the client reach out to those people and ask for support from outside the area. It's important to know that these services are available to you while you're trying to start your business, as soon as you get your business started, and for the life of your business. I have clients I've been with for 4 or 5 years who I only occasionally hear from when they have an issue that they need some input. But I'm always there and available to them to provide support for their future needs. Some of the things that we cannot do as SCORE mentors, we can't be experts in every topic. That's the reason we have a network that we can reach out to try and find expertise that you need if we don't possess it. We can't loan you money. A lot of people come to us thinking that we're a lending organization. We can help you find information about what organizations do provide lending. And in fact, our chapter does 2 sessions a month on the second and fourth Thursday of every month with the SBA to provide information on the grant and loan programs that they have available. We cannot give you legal advice. I happen to be an attorney. I can't give direct legal advice, but I can tell my clients, if you're looking at this contract, is this what you intended for it to mean? Because that's the way it reads. Or I can identify issues in a document and say, you need to go and talk to your attorney about this. I think that there are some concerns that you would be best served by talking to your attorney about. Having that kind of direction will reduce the number of hours you have to spend with an attorney and therefore reduce the cost you have for that legal services. We can't do the hard work of researching and building your business or guaranteeing your success. We do have available through score.org a significant bank of recorded seminars and documents on a variety of topics that are essential for you as a business owner. Those resources are all available to you free. So you can go out and get those. You can see all of those resources. And if you have a mentor and you're having trouble getting to the resources, they can help get you to the resources. So large companies have boards, consultants, stockholders, and lots of employees to explore different options and keep each other on track. Small business can be very lonely ownership situation, especially when you're starting. SCORE is the largest and most experienced free small business resource in the world. So why wouldn't you take advantage as SCORE as part of your planning for success for your business? This slide, which will be in those that are available to you, shows some of the materials that are available on the score.org website. In addition to articles and recorded seminars, you'll find templates to do your business model canvas, templates for your financial projections, for writing your business plan. You're going to find worksheets that will help you get through various kinds of analysis that you would like to do. And again, you're going to find a variety of information about pricing, products, service, marketing, preparing your budget, and preparing a balance sheet. All of things are available to you through SCORE. So if you want to request a SCORE mentor, how do you do that? You go to score.org and you click on Find a Mentor. You will be asked to answer a few questions like your email, your phone number, your name, what kind of advice you are asking for. That information is then sent from the national organization to us locally, And we will then try and connect you with a mentor who should contact you within a few days of our getting your name and material from the national office. SCORE has successful and experienced executives that are providing mentoring as volunteer. We do, as we've said, provide workshops. And if you go to our local website, which is Capital Corridor score.org, you will find a box at the top of that page that says local workshops, and you will be able to look at a calendar of all the workshops that are available in the next few days. We do provide free mentoring, one-on-one, email, and virtually. And as I've said several times, you can go to score.org to find the resources that are available there. So we have some time left for questions. I'm going to close this down and look at the questions that are available on our site here. Just a minute. Let me stop the screen sharing. There we go. And we have quite a few things down here. Let me start first with Q&A and then I'll go into the chat. I am a freelance romantic screenwriter. Any advice for reaching out to producers, development, and executives? I have to be honest with you and tell you that's not one of my areas of expertise. We do have people who do have expertise in that area and could provide you more specific information. I generally do try and get clients to go out in the just on the internet and just enter the general terms of what they are looking for and see what turns up. Surprisingly, a lot of information just pops up without you having to do a lot of searching. But if you do need some hand-holding or support, please reach out to SCORE and we'll try and match you up with someone with that expertise. You will get a copy of the business model canvas in the slides that are sent to you, as well as it is available on the score.org webpage as a template that's available to you. Advice for thinking through the purpose of your business. Don't worry about my income, but I love the creative feelings. Verge of starting either a business or a nonprofit. I think that going through, taking your ideas that you have, that you're thinking about, and running them through the business model canvas can help you focus in on which options are the most useful to move forward with. Our primary focus is on for-profit business, but we do seminars on nonprofits and we do assist nonprofits. So I would suggest using the business model canvas as a tool to evaluate those projects you're thinking about. Also, sometimes just connecting with a mentor and talking through with them. I have a client who contacted me with about 8 or 9 different ideas, and we were able to narrow down in a couple of sessions to 2 that he decided he wanted to move forward with, do the business model canvas, and we finally centered on 1, and he's working on developing that business. How does getting a SCORE mentor work? You go to the national website and indicate that basic information that'll be sent to us. We then have a slate of people who have agreed to take input or clients on each specific day. You're assigned to a mentor. I reach out to my mentors to my clients by email, give them my availability in the next week or 2, and try and set a Zoom up so that I can talk to them. We serve 21 counties in Northern California. I'm actually in Chico. A lot of our clients are in the Sacramento area. So I do a lot of my work virtually, and it does provide the flexibility to talk with mentors anywhere in the country who have the expertise that you need. Did you say you should reach out to you to contact a mentor or reach out to them ourselves? You, again, go to the score.org website, enter your information, and we will reach out to you and connect you with a mentor. If it turns out that the mentor that you're connected with isn't the right one, he or she will try and connect you with the correct person. I'm a lawyer, but if I get a lot of technical financial questions, I reach out to a couple of our members who are retired CPAs or bank executives so that they get the support that they want. Having trouble coming up with business ideas. You'd like to start a business. Okay, you're having trouble coming up with business ideas. Again, I brainstorm with people who contact me with have vague ideas or a lot of ideas and try and help them focus in on those that would be the most helpful to them in moving forward. So I think talking to somebody who's been in business, who understands what kinds of things it takes to move a business forward is a good way for you to focus in on what you actually want to do. I'm now going to move to the chat because we have a lot of questions there. And if you'll give me a minute, I'll scroll back up to the top and try and take them in order. Okay. Can you get the link to the business model canvas template so that it is on the slides? Can it be posted in the chat? Sorry if that was already sent out. We will be sending this out to you, and I don't have the actual site here. Let me see. Oh, Christina has provided the link for you. She's in our office and she's our right-hand person and she has all that information. So, resources, great, thankful. Well, I've enjoyed talking with you all. I hope that we have provided useful information for you, and I look forward to working with you in the future. Thank you for attending this session, and please visit our website and look at the upcoming workshops. I'm going to let you go, so have a good day.